You survived the earthquake. The building didn't collapse on you, the gas line didn't explode, the initial chaos came and went, and you're still breathing. You made it through the worst part. Or so you think. And that comfortable delusion is what kills you 3 weeks later when you're shitting yourself to death in a corner while your body evacuates everything you are through every available exit. The silent killer after any disaster isn't the disaster itself, it's the thing that comes after, the thing that moves slow, that doesn't announce itself with sirens or shaking ground. It's contaminated water. And it kills more people in the aftermath of disasters than the actual event ever does, just slower and with significantly more indignity. Here's what happens. Infrastructure fails. Water treatment plants lose power, sewage systems break, pipes crack underground, and now your drinking water's mixing with raw sewage in ways that would horrify you if you could see what's happening 6 feet below your street. Everything that kept your water clean stops working, but the water still flows, still looks clear, still comes out of taps like it always has. Your brain says it's fine because it looks fine, and you're thirsty and you've been drinking from this tap for years.
You just drank death. You don't know it yet, but the timer started. Contaminated water doesn't kill you immediately, and that's the evil genius of it. If it dropped you in minutes, you'd make the connection, you'd stop drinking, you'd find another source. But it takes days, sometimes weeks. Cholera incubates for 1 to 5 days, typhoid takes 1 to 3 weeks. You drink the water on day 1, feel fine for a week, convince everyone around you it's safe, and by the time symptoms start, you've consumed gallons of liquid death and taught your neighbors to do the same. The symptoms start subtle. Stomach cramps, diarrhea. You think it's stress, bad food, the general chaos of living through a disaster. Everyone's dealing with digestive issues after a crisis, right? So you ignore it.
Big mistake. The diarrhea gets worse. Not normal worse. Rice water stool worse, which is the medical term for when your intestines are producing watery discharge that looks like the water you rinsed rice in. And if you're producing that, you're losing a liter of fluid per hour, and you have maybe 24 hours before your body runs completely dry. Here's where it gets beautifully terrible. The illness makes you desperately thirsty, while simultaneously destroying your only water source with more pathogens every time you use a compromised toilet. You're a biological weapon now, contaminating everything you touch, spreading cholera through a disaster zone like you're being paid for it. Dehydration sets in hard. Your body starts shutting down non-essential systems to preserve fluid for critical organs. Your brain, running on vapor, starts making decisions that would embarrass a concussed toddler. You stop producing urine. Your eyes sink back into your skull. Your skin loses elasticity, so when someone pinches it, it just stays tented up like a tiny flesh mountain. Your blood pressure drops.
Your heart rate spikes, trying to compensate for blood that's turned to sludge. Your organs, one by one, say, fuck this, and quit. This is how survivors die. Not from the earthquake that made the news, from drinking water that looked fine, tasted fine, came from a tap they trusted, and was full of Vibrio cholera, having the time of their microscopic lives in an intestinal tract they're liquefying from the inside out. But here's what makes this a genuine nightmare. You're not just killing yourself, you're patient zero. Cholera spreads through contaminated water and food. One infected person using a compromised sanitation system contaminates the water supply for hundreds of others. Your neighbor drinks from the same compromised source. Their kid drinks it, the family down the street. Everyone who thought they survived the disaster is now in a race against bacteria that reproduce every 20 minutes and don't take days off. The solution is absurdly simple, and almost nobody does it until people start dying.
Every single drop of water that goes in your body after infrastructure fails must be treated. Not water that looks dirty, not water from sketchy sources, all water. Every drop, even if it's from your tap, even if it looks like it came from a mountain spring blessed by monks. Boil it. 1 minute at a rolling boil kills everything that wants you dead. Can't boil? Purification tablets. Don't have those? Bleach. 8 drops of unscented household bleach per gallon, wait 30 minutes, and that chemical taste is the flavor of not dying screaming while your body turns itself inside out. But people don't do this.
They survived the disaster. They're exhausted, they're stressed, they see clear water and they drink it because treating water feels like paranoid overkill when they have bigger problems. Those bigger problems include dying of cholera, which definitely qualifies as bigger, just not in the way they meant. Here's the pattern in every major disaster. The immediate death toll gets counted, reported, becomes the official number everyone remembers. Then over the next weeks and months, people keep dying. And these deaths don't make headlines because they're not dramatic enough, not photogenic enough, harder to attribute directly to the event. But they're just as dead. The 2010 Haiti earthquake killed 160,000 people when the ground shook. The cholera outbreak that followed killed another 10,000 and infected 800,000 more. Those bodies don't photograph as well as collapsed buildings, but the people are just as gone and their deaths were completely insultingly preventable. You survive a disaster by understanding that survival is a process, not a moment. The building doesn't fall on you, congratulations, you passed phase 1. Phase 2 is not dying from the aftermath, and phase 2 kills more people because it's less obvious, less immediate, easier to underestimate until you're shitting water and wondering why you feel so thirsty while simultaneously evacuating every fluid your body ever contained. Water treatment isn't optional. It's not something you do when water looks suspicious or when you get around to it.
It's something you do every single time, with every single drop, from the moment infrastructure fails until it's definitively restored and confirmed safe by people with actual testing equipment, not by your eyes and your gut feeling and your misplaced confidence that surely your top water is fine. The silent killer is silent because you can't see it, can't smell it, can't taste it in concentrations that will absolutely destroy you. And by the time symptoms appear, you're not fighting a preventable problem anymore. You're fighting for your life with a body that's already compromised in an environment with no hospitals, no IV fluids, no antibiotics, no medical infrastructure to save you from something a lighter and a pot would have prevented. You survived the disaster. The universe gave you a pass on the dramatic death. Don't throw that away by dying of something as stupid and preventable as drinking untreated water because you were too tired or too confident or too impatient to boil it first. Treat your water. Every drop. Every time. Because the silent killer doesn't care that you survived the earthquake. It just cares that you're thirsty and making bad decisions, and it has all the time in the world to wait for you to fuck up once.